because we are talking about the crucifixion of Jesus. All
Yes.
right. There is a community in Indian subcontinent who thinks, okay, first of all, uh, Jesus is very important part of Christians as well, and in Islam as well.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah, because they also consider him as a prophet.
A prophet.
All
Yes.
right. But the accounts are different about the crucifixion. So in Christianity, they said that he was crucified and then he was resurrected. In Islam, they said that he was about to be crucified, but didn't.
And he went to heaven, I think, right?
Yeah, in the place of him, Judas, who was like Judas Kiss,
Mm-hmm.
who
Judas
betrayed Jesus.
Iscariot.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so he was crucified, and then he somehow was like be saved, rescued, and then he was like called in heaven or
Into
something like that.
heaven.
So there is a community in Indian subcontinent who thinks that Jesus didn't go to heaven or something like that. He went to a journey where he was finding the lost tribe of Israel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So from there, he came to from this Jerusalem or Judea, wherever it is. He came to Saudi Arabia, then he came to Persia, then he came to Afghanistan, then he came to India, and
Okay.
here he died
Oh
in India.
my gosh! I love that. Which community is this?
This is called Ahmadiyya community. They consider themselves to be Muslim, but most of the other Muslim
Don't
school of
consider
thoughts
them.
doesn't consider them as a Muslim.
Type the name of the community. This is
Okay.
interesting. You see what I mean? Everything connects, Raman. Everything connects. Like, there is no wonder that when the world ends, we'll be like, oh my goodness, it was the same thing. Like, we fought so much and it was the same thing.
And in Kashmir, in India,
Mm-hmm.
there is a
Oh,
shrine where they
okay.
think that this shrine, there is a grave of Jesus.
What's the name of the shrine?
I think it's Rosa Bal.
Now
Rosa
you tell
Bal.
me all these things, Raman. We've been speaking for like 2 years and you're like, oh, by the way.
So, so and then India also shares some of the Jesus, all right. It's not all Israel and Roman Empire as such. India also have a little bit
Ah,
of Jesus.
Kashmir. It looks very simple. Very, very simple. Rosabal.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
Buddhism.
this community thinks like that.
That's so true. Oh my goodness. You know, regardless of whether you're Christian or not, I think Jesus Christ is an important figure in history because it
Yeah,
marks the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, right? And
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
regardless, of the accounts of what is written, what's not written, I do believe he was an important figure. And I
Of
think he
course.
was a good person. So,
Yeah. So just look at
wow,
this.
this is so cool. So cool, so cool, so cool. Something new. You
Christian.
always learn something new.
Yeah, yeah. Jesus, uh, Islam, a community, and India.
India,
Now,
how
the
you connect everything. I always find interesting the fact that you've got like there is one time, of course, they don't tell you about Jesus's life outside of the ministry, right? But I think I
Mhm,
told you I believe he was married, I believe he had kids and like you and me, like a regular
mhm,
person who had friends over and whatever. So, but there is one particular and I'm sad that we don't have that story. I think having that will make us believe he's more like you and me.
yeah.
Anyway, there is one particular story where he goes into the desert. He needs to like connect with Christ. With God. He needs to cleanse, do something. So he's fasting for 40 days in the desert. He goes outside, he fasted for 40 days. During those 40 days, he's tempted by the devil. The devil comes to him and he's like, yeah, I'll give you everything. I'll give you all the riches in the world and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. The point is, he's Jesus. So, of course, nothing happens. And after those 40 days, he comes back and he starts the ministry. But after, like, those 40 days are specific because after that time, he comes back a total different person. He's like, okay, let's do this. He goes into the ministry 100%, giving it his all. And I find interesting that I think Buddha also goes into the forest for 40 days, right? Or
Yeah,
how many
yep, yep,
days?
yep. Yeah, yeah, so I really don't
Something
know
like that,
about the,
right?
but I think it's with every person. It happens with Moses as well. It happens with
Mm-hmm.
Prophet Muhammad as well. It happens with Jesus as well. It happens with Buddha as well. It happens with founder of Sikhism, Guru Nanak
See?
Dev as well. He went to, I don't know, for 3 days or some week into a jungle, and then he came back and he was a different person in himself. So I
But
think
that's we have to do that. We have to
we
go
have to
40
go to
days
the jungle.
somewhere.
We have to go to the jungle.
The only answer. I mean, that's the only answer. There is
Yeah,
no
we
other
are gonna
answer.
find something.